So we have one participant. That's me. I'm on. Are you on? Do I need to admit anyone? I don't see anyone. Go invite. Come on. Come on, everybody. There's Gracie. Hi, Gracie. Come on. Let's see.
I think you're on mute.
I got you, Gracie. I hear you. Invite everybody that's on. No, I need to. No, she says she's on. I don't see it.
Says she's on. I don't see it.
Okay. The sound wasn't on for me. There we go. I fixed it. Am I the first one on here?
I don't think so. Someone's trying to get in. I'm trying to figure out where they at. They say 5 people participating. Okay, so I admit, and so we got that person, and
is anyone from Art to Heart in here?
So wait a minute, sweetie. You asked Miss Lorraine too many questions, and Miss Lorraine is not as smart as she looks. I got to get these people on.
Hello.
Hello, sweetie. I'm trying to get more people on. It's supposed to be coming. Let me see. Tanya.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
Tanya. She is connecting to the audio. So we have Tanya Davenport is trying to connect 2 with her 3, and then Art to Heart has 3. So 3 plus 3, we have about
Okay.
6 kids in all. A couple of flagging around, but there we go. I'm trying to. Brian is in.
Brian is in. Okay.
Admitted him, and I'm just going to admit all, and that way anybody that wants Cherie's my assistant. And
Hi.
Hi, that's Cherie. Brian, that's Cherie. I'm looking for Tanya Davenport with her 3, and I'm looking for Tanunsi.
Do you have the? There we go. Okay. Oh, my camera doesn't work.
Who is that talking?
Hey, Lorraine, it's Tanya.
I'm looking. Your camera does work. I'm looking at your door. You just need to keep shifting it. Oh, wait, no, that's not.
That's
you.
Cherie.
That's Cherie. So I don't have your.
No, okay, so I've got my niece has my phone, which she can see you guys, but for some reason my video on my end's not working, and then I'm going back upstairs to help my son get on.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So say hi and say this is Olivia.
Is that you, Olivia?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okey-doke. All right, so Cherie's on, Brian's on, Olivia's on, Vanessa's on, Tanya's going upstairs to get the others. Trying to make sure Tanunsi and everyone else is coming on. So Tanunsi's coming on now. So if the Tanunsi, then of course the same with Patty as always. Let's see.
We're a little bit before. It's just at 5 o'clock, so you let us know when you're ready for us to go. And can you give me sharing so I can share my screen?
Yes. Share. Let me go back. Okay. Yep. Multiple participants. Yes. Okay. You should be able to have that. So I admitted everyone. So she should be able to. Nancy's coming on now. And
Hello.
there's Ella.
Hello.
We got Nancy, we got Ella. And That's Tanya's.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Nancy. Ah.
See, got her. And I guess one more is Patty. And I think we'll have everyone on. Okay.
Hey, Lorraine, I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
This is Tanya. Are y'all gonna have a replay of this? Because Jackson was supposed to be on, but he has youth group. He thought it was.
Well, I know that we record everything, so he could actually go on the Art to Heart YouTube and look at the recording of it that we're going to do.
Okay. His mom might be on. I don't know.
I don't see anyone else. The only person that should be coming on now is Patty. And then if Jackson's not coming, then that would be all that we will have at that point. Everybody should be accounted for.
Okay.
Is what we're looking at. Well, maybe this is her here. Okay. It's always the case, so. Well done. Mhm. All right, and I'll talk with her mother and see if her mother knows what's going on. All right, almost.
You want me to call her?
I'm calling her now. So there's Ella, Caden, Gracie, Tanunsi. Tanya's on, but you can't see her. That's a parent. So, all right. No answer. If there's no answer either or with Patty. Hi, this is Miss Lorraine. We're wondering, is Patty coming on? Oh. We have one other person, guys, is trying to get on. So other than that, we should be done. Okay, so your computer.
It's Patty.
Yeah, we sent you everything. I think it's the computer is being. So
The computer.
and I opened it up to admit everyone so that I don't have to admit you one by one. I don't see her being. I see her name. I see her coming up. No face yet. There's a Diana Grolson.
Oh,
So
yeah,
Diane is
hold
with
on.
us.
I'm sorry. There you go. That's cool.
There's Patty.
Okay.
Who is
I'm
Diana
sorry.
Gross?
Diana is with us
Hi.
with Comerica.
Hello.
Got you.
Hey, Diana.
Okay.
Hi, Vanessa.
Okay, Miss Lorraine.
All right, so I think we're ready. Everybody's in, except for Jackson. Other than that, this is who we have. We have Gracie. Would you wave your hand, Gracie? She just went off. Where'd she go?
Her.
No,
Oh, she's good. Yeah.
Gracie's down there waving her hand.
Gracie.
And then we have Tanunsi. Raise your hand.
Hi.
But two people are raising their hands. That's Diana. She's not
I'm
Tanunsi.
just waving back. I can't do that.
Just in case anyone thinks that it's, then we have Patty here. Wave your hand, Patty.
Hello.
And then we have Cadence here. Would you raise your hand? Shake your hand. Ella, would you raise your hand? Ella? Okay. And then I'd like to introduce to you Brian Cowen, who is a vice president of Art to Heart. And then I'd like to introduce you to the illustrious Vanessa Reed, who has been our representative and our contact person back and forth. And this is a new person. I've never seen. Her name is Diana.
Right. Diana is my district manager. She's on to
Yes.
help us out.
Okie doke. Then welcome, Diana.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so then we have Cherie, my very, very close assistant, with which none of this could happen if she was not around. Trust me. So
Make it work.
we turn it over to the maestros of ceremonies between Brian and Vanessa. Were you guys ready to go next?
So I'm gonna run the slides for us. So first of all, can you guys see my screen?
Sure can.
It's a Comerica Bank Money Sense program. This is one of the programs that we offer to the community. It's financial education for all ages. And I invited, or rather, Brian sort of invited me to assist with coordinating this effort. And then we asked Diana, would she join us as well? And so today we're gonna present, it's may seem a little juvenile, but it's called Money Bunny, to talk about wants and needs. And I figured you guys probably have been on Zoom calls all day long. And the last thing you want to do is do something where you really have to, focus your brain. So I thought it would be fun to just kind of have just a little, a chance to sit and chat over this story about Money Bunny wanting a bike. I'm sure that it leads up into the holiday season. Many of you may have things that you want, or that you might actually need, but just want to make sure we reinforce that message as a bank, to really know the difference between your wants and your needs. Sometimes we think that something may be a want, and think that something may be a need, but it really is a want. And so just want to do a little knowledge check with you guys to make sure that as you're going into the holiday season and you're having those discussions possibly with your parents of things that are on your wish list, that you recognize that it is first and foremost important to take care of your needs before your wants. As you can see, I'm a little tongue-tied. I want to take care of my wants before my needs, but we really need to be focused on our needs before we focus in on our wants. So Brian, are you ready? I'm gonna pull up the PowerPoint with the slides. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Should say
I
Money
started
Bunny.
sharing. We're okay. There's the Money Sense program screen.
And then I'll go to the next slide.
Okay,
Money Bunny
perfect.
wants a new bike.
Yep. And
Okay.
I can take over. I want to say hello. I see your faces over here, and I tell you, at the end of my day, it makes me just my heart happy to see you kids on here. I have 3 kids. They're 4, 11, and 12. And so what I can tell you is I've read through this, and the wants versus needs is really important for you guys to understand, really, as you're saving and being responsible going on in your future and as you're growing, because this is, I read through this, and Vanessa's right. It's a younger presentation, but like she said, we don't have to be, serious about everything. But, this is how I like reading through this, because this is kind of how I speak to my kids. I'm not going to tell you anything that I don't talk to my own kids about. And I'm even going to share some side things that I do with my kids that maybe you can talk to your parents about, or if your parents are listening, they can talk about, which is just how to get your savings going from this age. How do you even start, right? And I have some thoughts on that too. But I'm going to get into the story, and I'm going to kind of probably interject. I'm going to probably make this longer than you want it to be, but I'll try to make it, fun. So this is the Money Bunny story. So Brownie wants a new bike. Okay. So Brownie Bunny lives on a quiet, shady street, small town in Maine. Does everybody know where Maine is? Northeast, right? Way up in the Northeast. He goes to Wigglesworth Academy, and Freddie Hopwell is his best friend. Freddie has a shiny new bicycle. So this is his friend's got a shiny new bike, right? Has streamers on the handlebars, bell he rings when he turns the corner. Brownie has an old bike that was his brother's. It doesn't shine anymore, and it doesn't have any streamers or a bell. Brownie has been saving his money to buy a shiny new bike. Okay. So that's good. Brownie's saving his money. Brownie didn't know how much a new bike would cost. He wondered if he had enough money in his piggy bank to buy one. He emptied out his piggy bank and counted all the nickels, dimes, and quarters and pennies, and he had $25. So one Saturday morning, Brownie went shopping with his father to buy red paint for the front door for their house. Brownie wandered into the toy department to look at bikes. He saw a shiny new bike with streamers and a bell. It was perfect. He looked at the price tag and his heart sank. The bike he wanted cost $135. Oh no, he thought, I'll never be able to save enough money to buy that bike. And guys, I'm going to interject here. It's not about kids and bikes and 25 and 135. This is adults too. You're going to save up. You're going to think, I'm going to go get that thing. And you're going to look at it and you're going to be like, oh man, it's more than I wanted to spend. So that's where we're headed. Just then he heard his father calling him from the paint department. Where are you? Asked father. Oh, just looking at stuff, Brownie sighed. They went home and father started painting the front door. As father was painting, Brownie asked why it took so long to save up money. Father chuckled, and your dad will chuckle when you ask him why it takes so long to save up money. Well, maybe it just seems that way because you're in a hurry to get what you want. Oh, Brownie moaned. He thought about how long it would take if he saved his whole allowance each week. Brownie and his brother, Buddy and his sister, Bonnie, each got $1 a week allowance, but he wouldn't have any money to spend on candy, movies, or comic books if he saved it all for the bike. So father knew what Brownie wanted. Remember the wants and needs? So he wanted a new bike, but there were other things the family needed first, like food, clothing, and a new wood stove for the winter. Father suggested that Brownie could earn more money by doing odd jobs and extra chores. Yes, Brownie replied, what a great idea. It wouldn't take any time at all to save up enough money for the bike. So he asked his father if the lawn needed mowing, but his brother had just cut the grass yesterday. Then he asked his mother if she needed help in the garden, but she'd already weeded and watered the garden. Oh, this was never going to work. Brownie went into the yard where father was busy putting away the paint and brushes. I'll never be able to earn extra money, Brownie whined. There aren't any chores left for me to do. He pouted and kicked a clump of grass across the yard. Father thought for a moment and then suggested Brownie could make his old bike look new by painting it and buying a bell. Brownie thought that sounded like a great idea. Father helped Brownie paint the bike using the red paint left over from the front door. Brownie was very proud of his shiny new red bike, but it still needed some streamers and a bell. Father and Brownie washed up and sat down for lunch. Mother had made big carrot sandwiches for them. She had been busy all morning putting the finishing touches on a new bonnet. She tried her bonnet on for Father and Brownie. It had flowers all across the front and ribbons of red and orange and yellow streaming down the back. Of course, these ribbons really caught Brownie's eye. He asked his mother if she had any ribbon left over, and indeed she did. She helped Brownie make streamers for his bike. The red and orange and yellow streamers flapped and fluttered when he rode down the block. It was beautiful. Now all he needed was a bell. Brownie's mother took him to the store to shop for a bell. They looked at all kinds of bells, big ones and little ones, some that played songs, some that flashed lights when they rang. Brownie knew just what he wanted. There on the top shelf, it was a big and silver with a red push button. His mother reached up and handed the package to Brownie. He read the label, and in the corner, the price was stamped $6. He was quite proud of himself for being such a clever rabbit. He had a bike that looked as good as new, and all he had spent was $6 for a bell. At dinner that evening, Brownie's brother, Buddy, said, Brownie, you're pretty smart for a little brother. You fixed up the old bike and didn't even spend a lot of money. His sister, Bonnie, said, we should call you Money Bunny instead of Brownie. They all laughed, and from that day on, they called him the Money Bunny. Okay, so the end. So I'm going to kind of go into just a short little thing. There were a lot of things in there, guys, and it's not just about it's saving money. It's about, not spending when you don't have to. And it's also, there were some other things in there that they kind of glossed over a little bit, but about doing extra things to what they call little side jobs, little things to kind of, make a little bit more money. But really categorizing what's a want, what's a need, what's going to be important in the long run. And so, has anybody had that kind of thing happen? You guys, had that kind of thing happen? You have something you really want, you save up for it, and maybe it's costing you more, you work some side jobs, that kind of thing. But we all do this, and it's not just when you're a kid, it's when you're older too. There's things you want, and maybe you can kind of compromise and maybe make something work that you don't have to get something brand new. You can make something work and it be just as good. You can save and work hard, and I think that teaches us something too about saving for what's important, and being responsible about the things that we buy. Does anybody have any questions at this point? Anyone? Or comments?
Hey, Brian, this is Vanessa. Can you guys hear me? Because I can't tell if I'm on mute or not. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thanks. So, I would add, again, this is something that adults deal with as well. Um, I can remember, times where I thought in particular, once you kind of get to middle school, high school, you want to look a certain way. Um, and, thinking I needed to have, a certain label or name brand um, outfit. And, it was funny, it was interesting that as long as my parents, um, as long as they said that they would purchase it, it was like, oh, it's a great buy.
Yeah.
But then once I started spending my own money on some of those things, I kept thinking to myself, well, what am I really getting? What is the value that I'm really getting out of this, say, shirt or pair of jeans that has somebody else's name on it? Couldn't I go and get just a regular pair of jeans or a shirt that I liked, the one that just looked good, and really create the same effect and spend a lot less money. And so even to this day, I look at things in terms of when I make this purchase, is this going to be something that is going to increase in value? Is this something that is going to be make me stand out for some reason? Why is it that I feel like that the value of this is worth me purchasing it? And when I'm at the register, before I get to the register, more often than not, if it's not on sale or just not something necessarily need for my job, that's not a priority for me. If I have extra and I've taken care of all of my needs first, then I can consider purchasing something, that I really want. I mean, we all have to recognize that there are some things we're just gonna want. It's not gonna, there's no rhyme or reason other than that we want it. But if we haven't taken care of our needs first, then, we need to do that and maybe consider, well, if I really want this, what am I willing to sacrifice? And so what are you willing to give up? And so for me, at times, even as an adult, when we were working at the office instead of working from home, sometimes that meant, whatever I would have spent eating out for lunch, I put that aside for my whatever saving, for a rainy day or saving for something I really wanted, instead of eating out every day. And if you think about it, it really racks up. I know you guys get lunch money, or you get to spend money on snacks after school. And so if you decided to say, hey, and tell mom, instead of me buying something at the school or at the store, the convenience store every day, can you just buy me, a variety pack of chips, and I'll take those to school every day because it's much cheaper. I can, eat those every day and take them to school with me, as opposed to spending over $1 or something for chips either at school or at a convenience store. So just like Money Bunny sort of shifted her thoughts around wanting a new shiny bike, she just fixed up the old bike that she had and she put some new bells and whistles on it. And so just think about, how you can put money aside, either it's from your chores or from your grandparents or whomever is giving you gifts for your birthday, always think about putting some money aside to save for the future, whether it's something that you want to get as a need, or maybe you want to help with your college expenses, whatever it is, whatever that goal is, you should always be thinking about not spending all that you have, but first of all, taking something off the top and save. We refer to it in banking or in the financial education world as paying yourself first. So if you pay yourself first, guess who's always going to have some money? You are. So just consider that when you're thinking about the things that you want versus the things that you need. Anybody
Oh,
have
that
any
was
questions?
great, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Hey, so like I feel like I've got to talk a little bit here, but I'm thinking about Money the Bunny. Is that what his name is? But I want you to think about things that you have that can be things that you really want. Okay, so for example, I have a bed frame that I've probably been having for 20 years, but I can remember about 5 years ago, I was ready to get rid of it. And guess what I did? I painted it and it looked brand new and I was so excited about it. And I saved a lot of money. So, for you guys, think about like, a pair of blue jeans or something. Maybe you grow out of them in length. Maybe they're too short, they're not long enough anymore. I've cut blue jean pants off before and made shorts out of them. I've cut blue jean legs off and made purses out of them. So, I would say to you, use your creativity in some of the things that you already have, whether it be a piece of furniture or a piece of clothing. I've seen my friends take shirts and cut sleeves off and make them vests. And so there's so many things that you can be creative, yet still be in fashion and still get what you really, really are wanting, okay? Even though maybe it's not something you need. So think about that and how you can turn what you already have, just like Money Bunny did, into something looking brand new.
Does anyone have a wish list for Christmas?
No.
You care to share
I don't.
what's on it? At least one item.
I wanted clothes.
You want clothes.
Yeah.
And so do you have a plan, or there's something, is there something specific that you would like people to gift you, or your parents to get for you, or Santa?
I don't know.
No, just clothes.
Yes.
Just clothes.
And a
Great.
charm bracelet.
And a charm bracelet. You have a preference on the charm bracelet?
I want a
In
Christmas one.
A Christmas one. Okay. Miss Lorraine, you heard that?
Heard that,
You might you need to put a bug in somebody's ear.
but I got a bug, all right, but they may not like the way it's gonna itch. Sir, I'm into the whole thing of, guys, just real briefly, if I may interject, Miss Vanessa.
Sure.
The CRAVE, out of the CRAVE, the thing that we teach them as far as character building, CRAVE, C for commitment, R for responsibility, A for accountability, and V for vision. Which one of those letters would fit here? So wait a minute, check this out. So I want to get this dress and everybody's talking about it. And now I've saved the money up and I can get it. I can get it. I've saved the money. It's my money.
Responsibility.
Oh, who said that?
Patty.
Is that you, Patty? Girlfriend, you don't even know where I'm going to go with that. You're so right. Absolutely. And what is the definition of responsibility?
Taking ownership for
doing
what's expected of me.
And taking
ownership for those who no, wrong one.
Come on, guys, help her out.
Taking
For your actions.
For your
actions. Okay, there it is.
You buy that stupid dress, you buy that dumb dress, it's cute till you can, and then you find out that even is not even the one they're gonna be wearing for next year's prom or whatever. And then you buy that dress and wait a minute, and then you get there and everybody's got on something else different. And then you get the phone call that guess what? They're taking a trip, a field trip, but you needed that money that you were saving up for a dress. So when you weigh out the consequences for your actions, it teaches you not to do it again. And we as adults, what we have done, we have made credit, debt, I see if I can share this, interest and not budgeting, actually steal from ourselves. Yeah, so if you don't have the money, here's the thing. If you get ready to buy something and you don't have the cash for it, you can't afford it.
Yep.
That's really hard today in the plastic world.
Yeah.
You know, but we got, as young people, if you start learning to save, I mean, how many know the difference between earning money and making money? Who knows the difference? Earning money and making money. Tell me, Patty. Patty's got all the
You had
answers.
the bankers on the phone as well. You
Yeah.
can phone a friend.
Patty, what's the difference?
Making money is like you doing something like a job.
No. Okay, then what is earning money? Maybe you got it flipped over.
Yeah, I think so. Earning money is you do chores, you clean your room.
Okay, what do you think it is, Gracie?
Earning money is actually like deserving the money and working hard to get the money.
See, guys, I never got this. I never got this. And Brian, guys, I'm going to shut up and get out of your way. But I never got this. I never got the fact that when you make money, that it's actually working for you and you don't have to be there.
Yeah.
The earning money is you.
$25, you take the $25 that we're going to start your accounts with. You take that $25, and then when you add on and add on, that money while it's in the bank is turning for you. Are you there every day calling Mr. Brian, saying, Brian, am I getting my interest? Mrs. Vanessa, no, that money is making for you, and you're not even there. That's right. That's what businessmen investments do for you. So you're really investing in your own future. You know, and earning money, you got to get up. You don't go there to get your job done. You ain't getting a paycheck. Right, Brian?
That's right.
There you go. That is the difference, guys. Making money and earning money. Making money is working for you and you don't have to be there. Earning money, you've got to whoop it. Okay,
Yep.
Vanessa, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
You know,
Guys, she's absolutely, did you have something
go
else to
ahead.
say?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, she's absolutely right. And you know, the majority of the money that you earn or in your lifetime as you earn it, there gets to be a point if you're responsible. I would even say, Lorraine, the other word in there is accountable, because both of those things go with being responsible with your money and accountable as well for making those right decisions. And guys, when you get to that point where you've earned a lot, you know, money and worked hard and done the right thing, you can start. It's enjoyable to watch it start making money then, either through, now I've paid off all my credit card debt. Let's say I got in a credit card debt. I was paying the credit card companies for this interest. Now that I've paid all that off, well, now they have things called rewards cards, and then I can earn money by using that card. And now it's making me the savings account that you have, it earns a little bit of interest growing on its own. But it's actually kind of fun once when you handle your money correctly. It's kind of fun to watch. You don't have any debt. You can afford things that you maybe couldn't before. But even then, your mentality still is, but should I? Is it right? Even though I can afford to, maybe it's still not responsible to buy lunch every day. As an example, I can afford to buy lunch every day, but it's not responsible to do that. I mean, that adds up over time. So, you know, you got to make those decisions. One of the things I would say too is starting early. What I did with my little girls is I opened a savings account for each of them. And guys, it doesn't mean that you have to put tons of money in there. My little girls put the change that they got from grandma and grandpa for Easter, and grandpa would give her a pocket full of change every once in a while, and she put it in the piggy bank. And then every once in a while we brought it to the bank and we put it in the machine, ran it, and put it in her account. And over time, if you just leave it alone, it turns into something. I mean, it actually grows into something. It's quite a bit. So, you know, little odd jobs that you do, you don't need to spend that money and buy things with that. We talked about buying the bike. and maybe you have a goal to save up for one particular thing, whether it be a tablet of some kind, like an iPad or a PS5 or whatever it is. But maybe you make that decision as you start to see that grow, that maybe I really don't need that. Maybe I don't need that. Maybe I need to just keep on saving that money for something.
But I want it. But I want it. I want it.
Yep. And you know, I will say too that there's two pieces to this. You know, you can't go through life not getting things that are fun either. You know, every once in a while you do want to get something to kind of pay yourself for that work that you do. Something, but just be responsible about it and know, is this the right thing for now? But you know, guys, you interacted so well with Vanessa or with Lorraine, and you know, I would ask, does you know, consider, you know, getting an account, if it have your name on it when you start working, mowing lawns, taking care of, you know, maybe babysitting, maybe doing dishes for your parents. If you get some money, then you have a place to put it besides in your room somewhere for your brother or sister to steal.
Brian, yes, that's true. The first 4 kids that signed up early, we are going to take part of our Comerica little money and put it into an account for them. So they will all start off with a $25 account. We're not going to just leave it there, but because what we did with the last one, they put it in the account and just sit there. No, they need to be engaged in the process. So the way they can be engaged in the process is if they do volunteers. We've got about 7 or 8 corporations that do donations to Heart to Heart. So what if those kids go and did the lawn, did their windows, did whatever, and then they make the donation into their account? Would that be nice?
That would.
I would enjoy that if I was them.
So they're investing in America's tomorrow. Greatest investment is our youth. At the same time, they're investing in them. Those young people are investing in their own selves and saving that money.
That's good.
Really?
I think that's amazing.
So that's
We
the idea.
do, you know, we partner with Girl Scouts, and part of what they do with the Girl Scouts is, in order for them to earn money for their troop, they have to do community service work.
There you go.
So it's been interesting to see how, you know, how they've been handling that since COVID, but they're making it work. And so, you know, I would add that, you know, lots of times kids think that they can't save because they don't have enough money. Saving is not about having enough money at one single point in time. It's about the long haul. It's about putting money aside on a regular basis consistently. Every time you get money in your hand, there should be a portion, again, where you pay yourself first. You take that money, put it in your piggy bank, or take it to the bank if you have a savings account, and put it away, not to be touched until such time that you have something that you want to, a goal, you know, of what you want to spend that money on. I'm hoping that it is something that will increase in value, such as your education, and not clothes and shoes or games. But, you know, the savings piece of it, if you can just catch hold of that at this age. I have a little example that I normally share when we're in in-person settings, where I give the example of how fast money can grow because of compound interest. And so it's a son or daughter that makes the promise to their mom, or ask their mom if they would agree to pay them a penny for doing household chores every day, but every day it doubles in value. And you'd be surprised how much money, if you did the math, how much money you would have with that penny doubling in value every single day over time, how much the kid had at the end. So it seems like, you know, hey, if you go and ask your parent, you know, you're going to do chores for a penny, and then it's going to double in value each and every day that you do those chores. The parent thinks, man, I'm signing up for that. That sounds like a good deal. But if you really step back and do the math, it actually, you know, equates, I think, over two weeks, over $150. And I can't remember the exact figure, but when we do it on the board, I'd have the kids do the calculations, and it's quite a bit of money over time with that compounding interest. And so just the idea of going to the bank on a regular basis and putting in money and leaving it there and not touching it, you'd be surprised how much money you walk away with, even with interest rates being as low as they are now. You certainly are going to have more than you started off with. And what I call interest, especially on the savings side, I often think of that as free money. You know, it goes back to what Miss Lorraine was saying about your money working harder for you than you're working for it. So it's earning that interest, that extra money, that free money. Would you get that money if you had your was saving your money at home underneath the mattress or in the piggy bank? Nope, nothing extra. But the bank will pay you for the use of your money. That makes sense?
Yep. And the one thing I would say, this is that
Mhm.
I will tell you guys, this is not something that when I'm talking to either young children, kids, teenagers, or adults, this is the same conversation I have with the people in my office that are opening larger accounts or smaller accounts, adults as well. You have to be honest with yourself about your savings. What's right for you each month? You know, whenever you get paid your allowance, how much are you going to set aside for savings to grow so that you have some money set aside and letting it grow? You know, what's right for you, because it's for you. You're not cheating anybody but yourself if you are not saving money or keeping more out than you can afford. If you know, so it could be $1, it could be $5. I mean, it depends on how much you're getting. So like what Vanessa said, it's not about, I'm going to get $100 and I'm going to put $50 in there. Well, how often does that happen? But I get $1 for my allowance, whatever that, if you get that, or you do a chore, or somebody gives you something and you say, you know what, I'm going to put some of this aside in that savings account. And that's that growth over time, whether you're an adult or a kid, I'm telling you, over time, slowly is how it's done, not in big chunks. When you get what we call a windfall or money, you know, all of that's not how it's done. It is slow over time, and it will grow. And then all of a sudden you'll have quite a bit, and you'll be surprised when you look at it, because I treat a savings account like it doesn't exist. I don't look at it. I move the money over there. It goes, put the money in there, but I don't look at it. And every once in a while when I look, I'm like, wow, I'm kind of surprised. Look how much is in there now. But it's because I treat it like it doesn't exist. And that's I think critical. So
That's a good point, Brian. You know, I remember growing up, my parents had the account set up where it would automatically take it out and put it in their savings. And I don't know that a whole lot of that is done nowadays, you know, on the banking side, but I do remember they had it. And so, you know, they almost operated from the standpoint of out of sight, out of mind. And so that actually speaks to, you know, exactly what you said. If you treat it like it's not there, like that shouldn't be a part of the calculations for, you know, your regular monthly spend. You know, and I know some of this may seem like it might be a little over you guys' head, but the fact that you're getting it on the front end, you know, you're going to at least think twice about some of the mistakes and missteps that some of the older, you know, generations, you know, have had to learn, as I say, the hard way.
And here's an idea, Vanessa. If we could tie money to the fact that of a responsibility, meaning that it is not your parents' responsibility to buy you a video game, like it is your parents' responsibility to clothe you, feed you, and take care of a house over your head. No one is ever going to come and arrest your parents for not buying a video game and not buying that iPhone. They're not going to come and arrest them for that. Not yet. So anyway, what I want us to think about is the fact that that is not their responsibility. Their commitment to the world, to God, to man, whatever it is, to make sure you eat right, your health is taken care of, doctors, things like that. That's what so if you would take your money that you do save, and you realize that every time you get ready to buy certain things, that your ideals are tied to that money. Money becomes a person and not a thing. When you tie those ideals to that, money becomes a person, and you have a little bit more respect for it. And that's what I really would like for. I mean, I didn't learn it till much late stage in life. you know, but that money is a person and there is an honor and a respect that it deserves. If not, everything's out the window.
I would say that I was lucky. You know, responsibility was a big factor in me being, you know, how I was raised. But I found out that I was, guys, and I would just wish that every single person, these young kids that I see on the right side would listen to this particular thing. I found out that I was uncommon in the fact that when I was younger, coming out of college, that I didn't have a lot of credit issues and money problems. Those decisions are critical when you're younger, you know, and as you get older, and we deal with quite a bit people that have created problems. So I would say that responsibility, keep that in mind with what you're doing, the money you're saving, the money you're spending, the decisions you're making financially, you know, getting a credit card and maybe when you're not ready for it, being responsible when you get the credit card and what you're purchasing. You know, I found out, I thought I was the norm, but I was not. And I found that a lot of the people that I went to school with, college, had really caused harm to themselves in their credit and their finances. So just that responsibility and accountability, those two things. I mean, if you use those two things and really think about that and all the things that you do financially, it will make a big difference later in your life. Huge.
So Brian, if I could just add to that and just say that, you know, we're talking to you right now about your age, but it never goes away. I am close to retirement and I still have to have a budget. I still have to think about that retirement. And so it's important that I have to weigh my needs and my wants as well. And so, you know, don't think that this is just while you're young that you're going to have to think this way. This goes through when you become teenagers, when you become adults in college, as Brian was talking about, then you get married and you have your own family. You never stop thinking of money and how you need to manage it in that way. Now, I do want you to leave here thinking of something fun too about the money. And Brian, you kind of touched on it a few minutes ago. There are times that we really have, maybe we've worked really hard to earn the money and we do want to get something that we've waited for so long for. And that's fine and that's okay. But I would say have a threshold on your savings. And that means never allow yourself to go below a certain balance at a certain time. You always want to have a figure that you want to put into it, and you always want that threshold to continue to grow and never let it go below.
Diane, you make an excellent point. You know, again, you know, it really is about, you know, sort of a sacrifice. I often ask, you know, my kids about, you know, well, what are you willing to contribute? So a couple years back, we come back off of a family vacation. And so my question then was, well, where do you want to go next? And so they decided they wanted to go on a cruise. And so they started planning the cruise and, you know, what cruise, you know, they wanted to take, but no one mentioned money. So I said, well, how much, how much does a cruise cost? And so I made them do the research. And so, you know, then the question became, well, what are you willing to contribute? Not that I expected them to pay for it, but I wanted them to have a sense of ownership. And as Miss Lorraine said, the responsibility that comes when you decide that you want to do something or that you want something, that if you're not willing to use some of your dollars, put in some sweat equity from your end, you know, I'm not willing. If you're not willing to invest, why should I invest? And so that's the question, you know, I lead with when they say, I want. You know, I know what you need, but your wants are something totally different. And if you haven't met the expectation on the need side, if we haven't met that, then, you know, we can't take care of our wants. There was one summer, my husband was out of work. And, you know, it was like, we're not going to have cable. I didn't miss it. I didn't miss it. But, you know, it's about making those sacrifices. What are you willing to give up? And just like when you are in school and you have to do the homework, sometimes in order to be able to achieve your goals, you actually have to do a little bit of homework, and you'll find it in the long run, you wind up saving money. So looking for sales, looking for the, you know, someone mentioned video games. So, you know, some of these games are so expensive. You know, my son will look at the what is it, GameStop, that sells the discounted. It may be a little bit behind the times, but if he wants to play that game, you know, he's willing. Okay, well, if I have to spend my money, I'm gonna buy the discounted version, and I'll just play with it a little bit after, you know, everybody else has it. So just think about, you know, it's not always about having the latest and greatest in that particular time. Sometimes you want to wait till, you know, it goes on sale. In particular, you know, I'm real leery about getting new cell phones. I said, well, you know, they flash all of the bells and whistles, and, you know, the I-12. I want to wait for them to work out all the kinks. So I'm not gonna buy the new model. I'm gonna wait till they figure out what's wrong with it, and then when they get it right, then I'll buy it at the discounted price. So just think about those kinds of things when you're, you know, making your wish list for Christmas. You know, do you really need that particular version? Do you need that model? You know, what is it, or how can you save money in the long run if you just put in a little time on the front end and do some research to find the sales, and find out actually, you know, what is the real value of owning or having that particular item. Anybody have any questions?
How
This is
many
the time to ask the bankers about money.
Yeah, anything you guys want.
how many people have heard the old adage from your parents? Child, money don't grow on trees. Have you heard that? If you haven't heard that,
I
your
think we're
parents,
all aging ourselves.
that's
Yeah.
okay. Your parent must be under 30. Well, here we go. It don't. But money does come from work, and money can grow. It can grow. It doesn't grow on trees, but it can grow. And it can only grow when it becomes, when you realize you spend it, it's gone, guys. It's just gone. It's like, oh, well, let's just go back to the tree and let's see if I can get some more. No, when it's gone, it's gone. And so you think about that, and so when you're buying stuff, think about it's okay to wait.
It is.
And my husband walked into a store. He saved for this machine for his recording studio. And he saved and he put it in the layaway, rather. Actually, he paid on it. And he was so proud when he was able to get it out. He walked in, he come out with it. While he was coming out with it, someone was going in with the latest model.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we can wait. It's okay. And when you say it's okay to wait, you know, don't buy things you can't afford. Always ask yourself, if I had the cash right now, would I buy this? If you can't afford it with the cash, you can't afford it with the card. And then choose to be content. You know, and I'll send you these little notes I have later, guys, but choose to be content. You know, and money comes from hard work, number one. And then when it's gone, it's gone. And that's really the truth here. And it's okay to wait. It's not all about you. You know, this generation, I know I'm still there. I'm with you. I'm still 13 in the brain. Yes, I am. And tell your money where to go. Did you know you can tell your money where to go? That's right. You're in the control seat. You can tell your money where to go. You can say, I want you to be able to sit in this account, and I want you to be accrued to be able to gain more. Well, I'm going to invest it in here. You can tell your money. The money doesn't own you. You own the money. And that's really important. I wish I had got a lot of this. But don't buy things you can't afford, and choose contentment. You know, and I know that this is not necessarily a spiritual thing, but I've got to say that there's a whole scripture about being content. You got to be content, guys. If not, everybody's got a better dress, a better.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
And what I'm gonna close on, I don't want to, you know, continue to wail on these poor little kids, but the one thing I would say is, you know, Patty, Ella, Tenancy, everybody on here, everybody, Lorraine has my number here, okay, and I'm the manager of the branch here in Kerrville, and But what I'm going to tell you is that, guys, if you have questions, I'm talking to everybody, the kids and everybody. Lorraine has my number, and guys, you're welcome to call me. I will talk to any of you. And I don't care what the question is. If you guys have a question about money, you guys have a question about, the right thing, maybe responsibility, what should I do? How can I do this? How can I save money? Get with Lorraine. I'll give her, she knows my number here, and don't hesitate to call me. Okay. Don't think you're bothering me. Don't think that just because you're a kid, you shouldn't call the bank and talk to me. You shouldn't call any bank and just talk to any banker as a kid, but call me and talk to me. The reason I say that is just because, I'm here for you. I'm here. I'm part of Art to Heart. I'm part of the organization. And I want to help you. Plain and simple. So if anybody has any questions now, it's a good time to ask while we're right here, but don't think this isn't the only time. You get with Lorraine and you call me. Okay. Anybody?
So go ahead.
No.
Someone have a question?
Okay.
So if nobody has a question, I kind of like you leave the kids with one last thought. I'll give it to Diane first, and then I'll close it out. One last thought, Diane.
My last thought would be, I am so excited that I was able to be a part of this. And you know what? Even at the age of 61, now I need to start rethinking about what I really need or want for Christmas. Okay. Sometimes we all, regardless of what our age is, we all need a refresher of this. So thank y'all for allowing me to join. I learned right along with you. And I want to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you, Diane. And just to close us out,
Thank you.
the one thing about money as we talk about needs and wants is that you've got to recognize who you are and how you relate to your money. Ms. Lorraine mentioned it in some of her comments as well. Typically, there are two schools of thought. You're either a spender or you're a saver. Brian, he is the unicorn. He's the saver. But by nature, some of us may have a little tendency to spend, and in particular, each of us has that spot that's our weakness. And so that's not always a bad thing. Knowing is half the battle. Once you recognize who you are and how you relate to your money, you too can develop strategies that will help you to achieve your financial goals. It's just understanding who you are, how you relate to your money, and if you have goals, how do you get there based on who you are? Brian was right. It is a very personalized thing. So don't feel like you have to follow some cookie cutter plan that you've read or seen out there, or it depends on what your financial goals are. And speaking to a banker can kind of help you hone in on how to best get there. So that's my final thought of the evening. I wish you guys a very Merry Christmas, joyous holiday. Please stay safe and stay well. Miss Lorraine?
Yes, and we'll be back with you guys at the Christmas party, which is December 9th, next Wednesday, if you can make it, and where we'll get the cards from Comerica Bank for your parents to be able to sign so that you can open up the account. And at that same time, when you do that, we are asking you, we have a list of companies and corporations, but if you know of a list of companies and corporations, or even just regular people that would want to donate when you actually volunteer for raking the lawn and doing things like that, and they would put that money into your account. It's a win-win situation for everybody, guys. It really is. So that's all I have to say, and I'll be in touch with everyone and send them this information that I wrote about. Money is a person. It's a person.
You might want to share that with us.
Somebody's got to draw. You know what, guys? Art to Heart. I'm putting it out there to Nancy. You guys, you draw a character for me. I want you to draw a character for me. Money is a person.
Sure.
It'll be a contest. You guys all draw a character. Okay, Patty, you're good at it. Anime, you're excellent with anime. Come on, guys.
That can be fun.
Money is a person.
That sounds like fun.
I'll give a prize, Lorraine. I'll give a prize for the.
Do I get money? I get money.
You pick
Do I
it.
get
Well,
money?
you pick it, Lorraine. Lorraine, you pick the winner, and I'll come up with a prize for the winner.
All right, then there you go. In the meantime, I'll be in touch with those 7 corporations. They would say to you, yes, you can come and hang up pictures, do something in the office, and then they donate straight to what? Not our account, but your account. Thank you all so much. I've got another Zoom for the shelter kids. It's been great, guys. I gotta go.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Lorraine.
Have a great
Bye.
evening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.